Hi, everybody. Today I will be discussing malaria and the infectious agent that causes it. There are four main species of this parasitic unicellular organism belonging to the genus Plasmodium that are known to infect humans. I will particularly be discussing Plasmodium malaria. The infection's origin is of Anopheles born. This female mosquito is an asymptomatic carrier and biological vector for the obligate parasite, P. malariae. It essentially consumes human blood to provide chemical nutrients and components for her eggs. We also refer to this parasite as a pathogen because it has the ability to cause disease and death. Three critical stages make up the life cycle of this parasite. There are also two distinct phases of malarial parasite development, asexual and sexual. Moreover, to summarize everything I have spoken about in terms of the life cycle and stages, the asexual phase takes place in the human who is the host. Infected female mosquito injects asexual sporozoites which localizes in the liver. It then undergoes schizogony generating 2,000 to 40,000 merozoites. These enter circulation in 5 to 16 days depending on the species of Plasmodium. Merozoites attach to and enter red blood cells, convert to trophozoites and multiply. Subsequently, red blood cells bursts releasing merozoites that differentiate into gametes. In the sexual phase, the mosquito is the host. Mosquito draws infected red blood cells. Gametes fertilize forming diploid cells which then form sporozoites in the stomach. Sporozoites lodge into salivary glands and are available to infect the human host. These are common clinical signs and symptoms of the malarial infection. In the cold stage, one will experience intense cold chills which last about 15 to 60 minutes. In hot stage, the person feels intense heat, dry burning skin, and severe headache. This stage can last from 2 to 6 hours. Lastly, there is a sweating stage where the person is profusely sweating. They feel exhausted and weak. There would be declining temperature and this stage may last from 2 to 4 hours. Malaria caused by Plasmodium malariae or the other three species can lead to even more complications as outlined here in the flow chart. Along with bouts of fever, chills, nausea, and sweating, malaria can present other symptoms such as the presence of edema and nephrotic syndrome. It may also lead to structural glomerular damage which would promote renal disease. Renal disease associated with malaria would include blackwater fever. Here, the urine will be black. Plasmodium malaria can be treated if detected early. Otherwise, other complications such as anemia, low childbirth weight, and anti-malarial drug resistance due to antigen variation at the level of the red blood cells may be likely. In this slide, I am just going to take a second to give a quick overview of anemia because of its high correlation to malaria. Anemia is characterized by reduced red blood cells or abnormal levels hemoglobin, an iron-rich protein that carries oxygen. Presence of anemia can display a wide array of symptoms. These include fatigue, cardiac arrhythmias, impaired cognitive abilities, and pregnancy issues. I've outlined some of the drugs used to treat malarial infections. Ultimately, the choice of which drug to use depends on which drugs the parasites in the area are resistant to, as well as side effects and other considerations. Thanks for watching. That's all, folks.